Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 6. We'll present our Management Philosophy MGM 3102 assignment. So, my name is Nur Auniliana binti Rosti and my matrix number is S58605. I will start the presentation with the question number 1. So the question is, what are the various types of information that you would require to manage the external and global environment as well as organization's culture for the Saudi Arabia office? You would need to analyze the political, economic, and social environment of Saudi Arabia and compare its differences or similarities with your own country as part of your answer. What is Cultural Manager? Cultural Manager is responsible for the policies, projects, and programs related to arts and heritage in a community. They identify common interests around their town, city, or region and provide opportunities for groups and individuals to learn and know about their culture. What is the external environment? An external environment is a group of factors or conditions that are outside the organization but affect it in some extent. In business, this term commonly applies to elements related to out-of-control dimensions such as political environment, economic environment, and social environment. What is the global environment? The global environment encompasses broad, worldwide environmental factors that are beyond the scope or control of any community or nation, such as climate change, natural disasters, and infectious disease.
Difference between Saudi Arabia and Malaysia in political environment. The political environment is a factor of the general environment referred to the business-government relationship. Saudi Arabia is absolute monarchy with a basic law. In Saudi Arabia is no political parties, unions or other types of political association. The basic of law in governance consists of 83 articles. All articles generated by a special commit organization by the king and the minister of the interior at the time. The articles are based on the Sharia law. However, in Malaysia practices parliamentary democracy with constitutional monarchy. His Majesty the King is head of state. Parliament is the most important institution in a country which practice. The law of Malaysia is mainly based on the common law in legal system. Federal law enacted by Parliament of Malaysia that apply to the country. The Constitution of Malaysia also provides for a unique dual justice system, which is criminal and civil, and the Sharia law. Then, difference between Saudi Arabia and Malaysia in economy environment. The economy of Saudi Arabia is one of the top 20 economies in the world and the largest economy in the Arab world and the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is part of the G20 group of countries. The economy at Saudi Arabia is heavily dependent on oil and is a member of OPEC. The country has the second largest proven petroleum reserve and the largest exporter of petroleum in the world. Malaysia is the new industrial economy, which is relatively open and state-oriented. Malaysia is the fourth largest economy of Southeast Asia, and it continues to perform strongly. Because Malaysia was performed strongly, demand for electronic was increased. Then increased demand of commodities such as oil and gas, and improving labor market and improving a pro-cyclical budget, and the ample infrastructure spending also increased. Lastly, difference between Saudi Arabia and Malaysia in social environment. Social environment is the considered with society and culture factor such as values, attitude, trend, tradition, and lifestyle. Social culture of Saudi Arabia based on the religion, which is Islam. A tribal system Islam play a great role in shaping Saudi Arabia by culture, which is traditional, society, social manners, and their obligation. That Malaysia environment is very different with Saudi Arabia. Culture in Malaysia are multi-ethnic, multicultural, and multi-goal. Many aspects of culture in Malaysia, such as religion, language, food, lifestyle, and art.
Then, I continue presentation with intro myself first. My name is Nur Azimah binti Zamri. My metric number is S58667, and my question is, what potential challenge or obstacle will you face in managing cross-cultural issue between Saudi Arabia and your home country? My first point is work ethical. Some our country maybe only take the people from their country to work with them. This is same with Saudi Arabian country. Everyone has a different attitude, especially in multiracial. To doing the work, have a honest people, not offensive, intolerant, and modern. This depends on the attitude and the culture practiced by them with different country. And I continue my presentation with point number 2. Point number 2 is intimacy. The people of Saudi Arabia are friendly, and the way they recommend each other is very strange, because between man and man, we usually greet and kissing cheek to cheek when meet. There are also men who stick their nose because there is the habit and form of respect when meet. This is different from the culture practiced in Malaysia. They only greet and shake hands with fellow human beings. If the Malaysia society that does not understand or know about the culture by the Arab community, we can certainly be seen as strange and will be slandered by the community because having an inverse relationship. But they don't know that it was the culture of the Arab community to greet in their daily routine. And also point number 3 is clothing style. Culture, the Saudi Arabia society has decided to use clothes that are specifically used for work. This society is mandatory to wear only black dress or abaya in Riyadh. If wear clothes quite bright or not cover head, they will be reminded by the mutawah from religion officer. The Saudi Arabia community also need to wear a burdah or niqab, and their official clothes is black for women, and need to wear a white robe known as tuaq for men. While Malaysia is free to wear any clothes, and it is not prescribed to wear specific clothes. Most people in Malaysia, especially in the city, wear a brand clothes because one follow the latest fashion. Point number 4 is communication style. Saudi Arabians usually like to talk rudely with angry intonation. Their conversation speak in a high tone even with are not her friends. But this is their culture that we don't know. They also use a different language that not be understood by Malaysian people if they don't learn about the language Arabic. In Malaysia, they speak in a normal tone even if they are stranger. The intonation used is also different from the Saudi Arabian society. If Malaysian society not understand this Saudi Arabian culture may cause misunderstanding with each other and cause fight between them. Last but not least is a social. Saudi Arabian community will probably emphasize the problem with socialists. This is because they don't let a woman to socially friendly and joke with men who are not moving for her. As you know, women are something valuable and must protect them. They also not give a permission to women to drive and hang out at will. This is different from Malaysia, especially those who live in the city. Most of them are friendly and don't have rules set by them or think can they do.
Assalamualaikum. Okay, my name is Muhammad Zulfaiz Beramli and matrix number is S58576, while my friend is Salina binti Abu Hashim and matrix number is S58683. So, question number 3 is, suppose you are required to hire 5 executives that will work under you to ensure the employees are accustomed to the practice of the home country. What are skill, responsibility, and requirement you would look for when you draft the job description for the role? Okay, this is a list of executives who will work under me, like executive assistant, information technologies executive, marketing executive, operation executive, and human resource executive. The first is the executive assistant. Executive assistants support the work of their employees. Usually, an executive handles or supervises office duties. That means that executive assistant assists managers in supervising and training other office staff, as well as headline tasks that can have a dramatic impact on the company's success. Next is the information technology executive. The executives are created to develop new products as well as improve existing products. The executives aim to help our organization produce high quality and competitive products in the market, as well as develop products that can meet the need and want of consumers. In addition is marketing executive. The executive, on the other hand, conduct research and analysis processes on customer behavior, marketing environment, and promotion channel that can satisfy individual need to achieve organization objective. Next is the operation executive. The executive carry out activity of planning, operating, organizing, managing, and controlling the resource of business organization to produce product or service to meet consumer demand. Last but not least is the human resource executive. The executive plan and manage short and long-term staffing programs such as the selection and recruitment of new employees are reviewed from time to time to meet the demand on the workforce of the organization. In addition, coordinate policies and regulation adopted by the organization to ensure compliance with employees' demand, national legislation, and universal need. The executive also monitor the performance and offer of compensation, such as reward and benefit of employees, and even coordinate matters related to employee safety and health. Now, I want to share the skill that manager need to have. The diagram shows the skill that should be available to the manager, namely conceptual skill, interpersonal skill, time management skill, decision-making skill, and technical skill. The first is conceptual skill. Conceptual skill refers to the ability of a person to evaluate the need of the organization as whole and wisely analyze the situation well. Management with conceptual skill must be far-sighted and able to analyze the impact of change that will occur in the business environment in the future. In addition, managers are also able to formulate long-term and determine the direction of the company to continue. Next is interpersonal skill. The skill refers to the manager's ability to maintain good relations with all parties by understanding the behavior, attitudes, and feelings of others. Managers need to be able to avoid and deal with conflict with other individuals and even need to always be friendly with all parties whether in or outside the country. In addition, the next skill is time management skill. This is because the manager is able to complete the work with the stipulated period and does not practice postponement of work. Managers also need to wisely and efficiently manage activities by determining the providers of each task, work in an organized and scheduled manner, and even managers need to be able to estimate the amount of time requirement to complete the job. Decision-making skills are also very important to managers. This is because managers also need to have decision-making skills to enable something to be determined efficiently by taking into account various internal and external factors of the organization before making a decision. Managers also need to able to understanding a problem, form alternatives, and choose the best alternative in solve a problem. Managers also need to take immediate action and problems that occur and are accepted by all parties. Finally, managers also need to have technical skill. Technical skill refer to specific skill by a person in certain area. For example, the skill of using equipment, hardware, specific method, technique, and procedure that are correct in performing tasks. And finally, the manager is able to provide guidance and be a reference to other subordinates related to technical matter.
There are the three levels of management in an organization, namely the upper management level, the management level, and the lower management level. The top manager level, dynamic strategy planning and organizational policy. The top management is responsible of the management of the organization. Top management need to set the rotation, mission, objective, and the long-term strategy of the organization. Top management as to the loyalty of giving instruction to middle manager and the subordinated manager. The middle management. There is a level is responsible of translating the mission goal set by the top manager. Intermediate manager need to provide the organization medium and strategy of the department. Mid-manager need to the carrying of action according to their respective department. Management. The mid-management should lead top and the lower manager plan. Lower manager level. The lower manager level is responsible of implementing designated activity. Superintending manager need to provide short-term operational planning and strategy. Manager should instruction superintendent of fascinated to perform daily work. The strategy managed evaluation of by space of fire. Example for this: top manager level, chief executive officer, president, executive operator officer. Intermediate level of manager, press manager, marketing manager, and finance card manager. Lower management level, assistant manager or supervisor, group leader. Regulament. Ensure God organizational goal achieved. Ensure the small running of the integrated organization. Ensure as the referred in the words organization and coordinated and reflected when and in an orderly manner.
Let's to continue. The activity and program that need to be implemented by culture manager. Requires employers to use one language. Among the program that can be implemented by culture manager is to oblige employers to use one language, English. This is said so because when the employers use this language, it will be easy for all employer because this language is an international recognized language. For example, employers use language English when they communicate with other employers. The effect is that other employers can understand all the speech. As a result, it will make it easy for employers to make a proposal or discussion. This description clearly shows that using one language can reduce the gap between employers Saudi Arabia and Malaysia. Create a program spiritual and talk. In addition, with the spiritual program and talk implemented by this cultural manager, it can cultivate the nature of identity and integrity and fulfilling the responsibilities given. This program can to some extent create moral employer and it can also produce competent employers. The existence of such a program will not be a dispute between employers for having moral. For example, they take care of speech and do not trigger racial sensitivity when they are present proposal and discussion. As a result, it will produce quality service and create excellent organization. So, that such a program can create a moral employer. Make orientation to new employer. One of the activity that can reduce to the gap between Malaysian and Saudi Arabia employer is to orient for new employer. Cultural manager need to introduce and expose a new employer to an appropriate work culture. This is said to be because it can easy for new employer in perform the assigned task. As a result, manager are able to produce quality employers as they have been exposed to a new work culture. This clearly show that creating an orientation to new employer to adapt to this work culture.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Nur Shafinas binti Roslan. My metric numbers is S58579. To proceed in this topic, I will discuss about the benefit from an effective cross-country organization with strong corporate culture. Corporate culture has been defined in many ways by various authors and researchers. Corporate culture can be viewed as a set of value, attitude, behavior pattern, ritual, belief, norms, expectation, socialization, and assumption of employees of the key identities in the organization, and that helps in determining their employees' manners. From this definition, we can know that corporate culture is very important in creating a great organization among employees who work with each other to increase output with the good quality. So, as manager at a branch office in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the benefits to employees from an effective cross-country organization with a strong corporate culture are manifold, as they belong to the same groups like Malaysia and Saudi Arabia of entities. The employees from different countries will feel comfortable working with each other, for they share similar corporate culture. Further, they will be eager to work because they have no problem interacting and communicating with each other, even with their top management in their organization. This should increase the employees' output as they shall be working together, implementing their ideas in harmony with efficiency, and with it come a great output. There will be employee loyalty to the employer for a long time. The employees from another country also can interact easily with employees from a different country because of their common corporate culture with different experiences working in foreign land. The second benefits from an effective cross-country organization with a strong corporate culture can encourage the employees in the organization to be more creative and innovative in dealing with a current or future risks. The employees will be ready to think about the new idea and the other alternative to solve any problem. For example, they collectively think of a new idea to create a new product, and the current product suffer losses due to lack of customer appeal in the future. So from that, the organization will not incur cost of losses. Next, social-cultural similarities are also prevalent in cross-country organizations with a strong corporate culture. As good managers, we have to know about the social culture in another country, not only in our country, to expand organization products to the whole world. For example, Saudi Arabia and Malaysia as Muslim countries, product must have a halal logo. When designing clothes for Muslim women, one has to take into consideration their Islamic values and custom. So, when corporate culture recognize different value, custom, religion, and even racial practice to product, this in turn will increase customer demand in an organization and also improve cross-country business relationship between the both of the country. For the last point, benefit from an effective cross-country organization with a strong corporate culture is that an organization employees can share about their work environment, mission, leadership style, ethical value, and goals from cross-country relationship. This can make managers and employees who have experience working across cross-country will learn to work ethic and practice and share with other employees in their organization when returning to the country of origin to share their experiences with the other employees. So, they will work together to achieve the mission of making their organization a success together. In summary, we have to take note about the information that required to manage the external and global environment. Other than that, we also have to analyze the environment in other countries such as political environment, economic environment, and social environment. Secondly, we must know about the potential challenge or obstacle in managing cross-cultural issues in our country and others' country. Next, the type of higher FI executive, which is the skill, responsibility and requirements is important to practice in our organization. After that, the all activity and program which has been stated by the cultural manager are implemented to strengthen the organization. Lastly, from all the things that have been discussed, let we know that a corporate culture is very important to apply in the workplace environment, even in international organization. Corporate culture encourage fellow workers to work better with each other. Corporate culture also important to make the quality of product and increase the output, eventually enabling an organization to successfully develop. That's all from my team and I. Thank you for watching and listening.